Hello everyone, and welcome to my live reaction to F2 cars in F1 2019. So I've genuinely not turned a single wheel on the F2 cars yet in this game. I've done some F1 stuff, which you hopefully will have already seen. If you haven't, do go back and watch that video. And I'm going to do the same track, so we get a nice fair comparison against F1 versus F2 cars. And I'm excited. This is the first time I've ever driven an F2 car. I've not even driven it in any other game or anything like that. So hopefully this will be good. I'm going to try and break in at a similar point for F1. That is not going to work. A lot less power as well, a lot less wheel spin, a lot more gradual on the power. These of course are last year's F2 cars. I'm going to try and break the same point again because we're going slower. Still couldn't quite work. So far then, actually the main difference is the power. Being a bit more aggressive with the power, a bit more oversteer there, but F1 cars I found really sensitive to the power. This is not so bad. Especially there, look, there's floor in the throttle. I expect that's because there's no ERS. F1 cars, as soon as you're on the throttle, you get some ERS. Oh, they sound good. They do sound good. They sound just like they do in real life. Oh, we're all there. Good job we're in time trial mode. Because in time trial mode, everything is nice and even. All the tyre temperature and everything never change. 6 gears. I'm trying to break my F1 point still. That's not going to work. So adjust slightly. Getting there though. After that first corner, which was quite a disaster, we're starting to learn the way already. Braking a bit early this time. I'm surprised the braking points are actually so much longer. Yes, of course, there isn't so much downforce, but you're also going slower. Oh, wow. So it's interesting, because there's no ERS usage, no ERS, but there's still a turbo, so it spools up and suddenly gives you wheel spin. Not so bad as the turbo lag in the old days. You do certainly get it. We're still doing over 300 kilometers an hour, mind. So they're actually not much slower in a straight line in the F1 cars. It's all just downforce, really. Bit of oversteer. These are fun to drive already. I'm quite enjoying this. A little bit more pure than the F1 cars, especially for how snappy this year's cars are. Bit of a lock inside wheel there, similar to the F1 cars in terms of how easy they lock. Whoa, that's a lot of oversteer. Actually, interestingly, the textures of the tyres are a bit better on the F2 cars. I find the F1 car tyre textures a little bit strange. They're pretty smooth, they look like slicks, whereas in the F1 cars they look almost like you've got treads on them. Oh, that was a little bit deep. Oh, I hit the rev limiter a little bit there. You can actually hit the rev limiter in these cars, whereas F1 cars shift early. Oh, that's silly. That was my F1 braking point. I forgot I was supposed to be braking quite a bit earlier. I was looking like a pretty good lap up to that point, but we're still a second up, but granted we did take a huge corner cut just then. That was too late, that was F1 point again. Yeah, this is to adjust. I think the main difference really is the longer braking points. The power is certainly quite a lot different, but it's not, it feels quite natural. If anything, it feels a bit more natural than the F1 power, because the F1 power, because of the ERS, you just get immediate throttle response, and it's so snappy because of it. A bit more curve through there now. DRS over, of course, there is still DRS, so that's still the same. Same activation points, everything's still the same in that respect. Locking inside wheel there again. You hear it. Didn't really see it too much, but I did hear it. Oh, that was preemptive overcorrection. That was not ideal. Too much speed through there. Ended up cutting the corner. Yeah, the hang of it there. Of course, there is less downforce, but it actually feels quite a bit more stable. And it's quite similar overall because everything's just a bit slower, so the acceleration's a bit slower. Overall in the straights you end up at a similar speed, but the acceleration's a bit slower, so through the corners actually you get on throttle at similar points and brake at similar points. Unless there's a long straight, then that makes a difference because you end up at similar sort of top speeds. So here I'll be braking quite a bit earlier. So that's also not a downforce corner. The downforcey corners you're braking quite a bit earlier because the downforce is by far the biggest difference, what I'm feeling so far. But yeah, brakes are very similar, just not so good because you've got less downforce. So yeah, we're reaching over 300 kilometers an hour here, 310 kilometers an hour more or less, which is not a million miles away from where the F1 cars are. That's better through there. Starting to gain some confidence now. 8 tenths up on our previous, but that's still an invalid lap. That was too late, I think. Again, it will make the corner just about, but it was a bit late. Oversteer again, well not really oversteer, a little bit of wheel spin. Also down for this corner again. See, this corner is one of the ones that makes a big difference between F1 cars because just isn't a downforce there. Change directions a little bit lazier. Potentially a bit late. No, we're okay. That was nice. See, I'm being quite cautious on the turbo. I know that when I'm exiting a corner, I can be quite aggressive with the throttle, but that's too deep again. Why do I keep messing up this corner? We were 8/10 up on it. But apparently this lap's still valid. How is this lap still valid? I'm actually going to back out of it because I don't want this to be a valid lap. It was very, very naughty. But yeah, it's interesting. Very, very interesting. So as I said, you can be quite aggressive initially on the throttle when you're lower revs, but as the revs start to build up, the turbo spools up as well, and that's when you have to start being careful. So particularly, I'll mention the corner, but particularly the first corner of the first chicane of the second sector. You have to be quite cautious through that. Oh, it was disappointing. Oh, bit of rev interaction. This lap will be invalidated now, but we'll still go for it, see what we can do. Oh, that was too deep. Far too deep. See, again there, because of the lower revs, I was actually, despite the fact I was oversteering, I was actually able to, if you go back and have a look at my throttle inputs, I was a bit wide. I was actually able to, despite the fact I was oversteering, I was actually able to get harder on the power because I'd shifted up. And I dulled the power, so there wasn't so much. This is the corner I'm on about, so I'm sort of being quite cautious as the rev builds up. And actually when you shift up, you're able to get more on the power because, I guess because the turbo's not spooling so much, there's not so much peak power there, so you can be a bit more aggressive. Braked a bit earlier, but still not early enough. What am I doing through this corner? It's the one corner I can't get right. So that's invalid anyway, so we'll carry on. Yeah, not nearly as slappy. I think that's by far the big difference. It's not nearly as snappy as the Formula 1 car on this game. They do feel good. Not nearly as slappy in the turbo. The sort of turbo, not really turbo lag, but the turbo, the increased power at higher revs because of the lack of ERS. I think that's the biggest difference. So I think it's all to do with ERS actually. All to do with ERS. Not as snappy because there's no immediate power. Oh, that was too deep. Now I'm going to restart this time. I want to get some sort of added lap. Less downforce and lack of ERS. That's the, sounds obvious, but that is the difference, and which means they've got the feel of these cars pretty much spot on. If that is the difference. Oh, come on! Don't start doing that, Alex. Let's get this show on the road. I'm gonna try and get some sort of half decent valid lap. See where we are on the leaderboards with an actually valid lap. Oh, could we start again? That was we made it through, and then just see again. That was being able to get quite heavily on the power when you were lower revs. Then as soon as the revs built up, it just wheel spins because there's just more power being a petrol engine as well. Of course, there's more power at higher revs. So in a fourth this time. Oh, come on. Yeah, being a petrol is more power at high revs, and then you get more of a turbo kicking in. Interesting. It's a bit more technical than I thought it was going to be. I think I didn't consider the turbo effect. Oh, I thought it would be okay. You can cut that inside corner a little bit. Yeah, I didn't consider the turbo effect, to be honest. I thought it was going to feel quite similar, just all a bit slower, a bit more dull. But actually the turbo effect makes quite a big difference. We're going to carry on anyway. I'm not going to keep restarting. That was a lot of oversteer. Actually not going too bad though, pace-wise. Again, a bit of locking inside tyre, push us a little bit wide. I'm going to tighten line through here though. It's way too much wheel spin. Actually, we're up slightly. That's too much speed. Push us wide. Still not too far down, are we? Though on our best, we can certainly beat our best by a long, long way. But again, there, look, I was okay until the revs built up, and as the revs build up, you really struggle. So corners like last one are the hardest, actually. I've done it again. What am I doing with this corner? Why am I not braking early? I just keep forgetting. Right, next lap. That is not going to happen. Just double shift so we don't beat our previous lap. Beat it with a cut. Pay attention. See, when you're in a straight line, you're okay. You can get away with that extra power as the revs build up. But it's when you're trying to do turning as well, and you suddenly get a boost of power. It probably goes an extra 20 or 30% power or something. And that just unsettles it. Right, come on. Actually, I want to set a lap time now. Get a little bit more caution on the power there, and then we need to avoid the oversteer. As will be our final lap. So we are going to set this lap.
Time last lap was a 1 minute 20.7.
30,000 leaderboards. I don't think many people have done this car and track combo. Potentially if we set a half decent lap, could be a world record maybe. Oh, that was too deep. It's not great through there, but we're still quite a way up on our previous. Oh, a bit of touch on the barrier, but we'll get away with that. Still up on our previous, 4/10 up now. Let's try and break out of this corner. Ah, we finally did it. Oh, come on, no way. That was such a minor cut. It's so stingy on the exit there, and we're a long, long way up on our previous as well. Oh, that is so annoying. Ah, that is so annoying. We're losing a bit down this straight, but we'll still see where it would have put us. Probably potentially get into the 19s. Might even do one little extra bonus lap. I want to end the video here, but ah, it's going to validate. Yeah, we're best part of a second up. Right, we'll do one more lap. I'm determined now in this video. We want to get an actually valid lap, half decent valid lap, and get us on the leaderboards. But I don't want this video to run too long. Come on, let's do this. Right, this is the one. This is the one. Let's do it.
Our best lap so far is a 1:20.7.
Bit of oversteer, but we'll get away with that. Still got a better exit now, best. Oh, a bit deep again. That's even deeper than our last lap. Get away with it though. Cost us a bit of time, mind. About a 10th down where we were last attempt. Better through there, I think. Didn't quite hit the wall so badly. Not great exit though, 3/10. We're still a little bit down where we were previously. A little bit deep again, but oh, come on! That was a lot of oversteer. Yeah, we've just lost a huge amount of time. We were 8/10 up on our previous attempt here. Oh, that's too deep. Try to make up for it. It's not the way you do it. Bit of oversteer again. That was a turbo kicking in. We're still 4/10 up. We'll still roll with this lap. We know we can go a lot quicker, but this we'll have to do. We'll try and get a good final chicane. Certainly not cut it, just so we can get some sort of valid lap in. Half a second up. That's not too bad. Walked too few risks through there, but we got away with it. 7/10 up in the end. That's not too bad. There we go. 20.007. 7 thousandths off on 19. That puts us in 8th position. Let's have a little look where that does put us on the leaderboards. But there we go, certainly a lot more time to be had through there, but that was actually great fun. That F2 cars are great fun, and there it is. We were actually 9/10 off the best, but we probably got that pace, to be honest. That's without setup, of course, as well. P2, but 8/10 off him without a setup. So, well, I think we'll certainly take that. Not bad, I think, because there's only 484 players on the leaderboard, top 2%. But that'll do. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to drop subscribe, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.